out on the field. The pride of the Southland band crisply marches into the Giant T. The roar of 97,000 fans rises with each rhythmic step. In the background, George Beaches is singing "Fight, Balls, Fight." The orange and white Shakers flood the air. The Volunteers are ready at the north end of the football field to burst through the gate. They're coming now, racing onto the field through the Giant T. In that magic moment that says, wherever you are, it's football time in Tennessee.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Everybody's talking about the college football playoff rankings. Came out last night while we were live on the fan call-in show. Not a whole lot of change, not a whole lot of surprise, really, especially at the top there. You got Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, TCU, Tennessee, LSU, Southern Cal. Now, it's kind of funny. You can see them sneaking LSU up there. Got them right behind Tennessee, even though they have 2 losses and got boat raced by Tennessee. They've got them primed and in position just in case they go beat Georgia in the SEC championship. They can sneak LSU in there. USC is the new sexy Oregon, right? Last week it was Oregon. This week we're all going to pump up USC. They got a tough road ahead of them. If they're going to try to sneak in there and make an argument with as a one-loss team that they're better than a one-loss Tennessee, they're going to have to take care of UCLA on Saturday. They got number 18 Notre Dame coming up next week. So they got some work to do. We'll see if UCLA can if USC can survive those last few games. But that's the argument. Is if USC runs the table. You got a USC with 1 loss. You got Tennessee with 1 loss. Which team deserves to get in? Because Ohio State, Michigan is going to take care of itself. Somebody, number 2, number 3, somebody's going to lose. Somebody's out of the top 4. And TCU's going to stay in there. I think Tennessee, USC, LSU. That's the argument. Let's take a listen to what Paul Finebaum said last night. Got into an argument. Let's take a listen to it. I don't normally like what Paul Finebaum has to say, but he makes a lot of sense here.
Okay. I started off just thinking about USC, and I was almost going there until I heard what you said, Stephen A. And when I heard Keyshawn defending some of those schools like, hey, Corvallis, that's a tough place to play. Keyshawn, let me tell you a tough place to play, okay? What Tennessee did when they went to Baton Rouge and won by 30 points. That's LSU. That's Death Valley. They won there. They beat them down. The same team that beat Alabama a few weeks later. That's the difference maker. Well, I didn't say that. Hold on a second. So Tennessee will not have an SEC championship game, but they've already had it. They played Alabama, they played LSU, and they played Georgia. They lost to Georgia. Okay. I think had the game been in Knoxville, could it have been different? Perhaps. But those 3 sites make your 3 sites look ridiculous. Utah, Corvallis. I mean, right. Keyshawn, I realize you played in that league, but those schools do not compute to what I just got through saying.
Interesting point that he brings up there, too. What would that Georgia game look like had it been in Knoxville? What would that Georgia game look like on a neutral site? We'll get into that in just a second from another CBS analyst. But really what I think, I've said multiple times, I think if Tennessee takes care of business, they're going to sneak in there and take that 4th spot. That's just the way that I see it. Number 1, I don't know that Southern Cal survives the next couple of weeks, but even if they do, I think Tennessee's got the better resume. They've got the better track record. The only thing that would throw a wrench into it is if LSU goes and beats Georgia in the SEC championship game, which I don't see that happening either, but that's why you play the game. So Georgia, Tennessee, that's the rematch. That's the expectation. Does it happen in round 1? Does it happen in round 2? We will see if Tennessee even makes it in, but if they do, people want to talk about the rematch. What does this game look like at a neutral site? We're going to talk about it. As always, smash that thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy. It helps the channel. I would appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We'll be live tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Talkin VAWLS live. Don't miss it. Come hang out with myself, JP Dauber, as we break down this Tennessee, South Carolina game coming up on Saturday night. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Again, this is in regards to a rematch. What if Tennessee slides in there at number 4? They've got Georgia at a neutral site. This is an article from Saturday Down South. Rick Neuheisel makes prediction ahead of potential Tennessee-Georgia rematch. And again, you guys hit the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Do you not see when you look at the college football playoff rankings, do you not think that Tennessee slides in there at number 4, regardless of if let's say USC runs the table? Do you think the committee makes an argument to get USC in there at number 4? Ohio State, Michigan, the losers got to go. A one-loss Ohio State, one-loss Michigan doesn't belong in the Final Four. Going on the road to beat LSU, not just beat them, boat race LSU. The win over Alabama, the track record, the most wins over top 25 opponents. Tennessee with 1 loss is better than any other one-loss team in the country. I don't care what anybody says. You're not going to put something in the comment section and bark like a dog and change my mind. That's just facts. Article goes on to say here, Georgia handed Tennessee its lone defeat of the season. However, CBS analyst Rick Newhouse believes Tennessee would repay the favor if there's a rematch in the college football playoff. How sweet that would be. How sweet it would be to get a little revenge and spoil a possible back-to-back national championship Georgia team. Says here the former coach isn't diminishing Georgia's 27-13 victory, but thinks Tennessee will fare better on a neutral field. This is a tweet from Jimmy Himes. Says here CBS analyst Rick Neuheisel said he thinks Tennessee would beat Georgia in a rematch if it happens in the college football playoff. The quote, "I will be picking Tennessee to win that game," he said Monday at the Knoxville Quarterback Club. Georgia won the first game 27-13, thanks in part to the boisterous home crowd. Neuheisel said, "I looked at the film. The film gives all sorts of opportunities for a guy over there by the name of Josh Heupel, and he will have a plan that you'll be excited about." Now, that doesn't mean Georgia isn't fantastic, but they had a home crowd that made it confusing. And again, that's the thing. And nobody is sitting here. I know you Georgia fans. I know you're going to be all over this video, and I know you have a hard time understanding the English language, and you're going to come in here and talk about destroying Tennessee and dominating Tennessee. I don't care what you have to say, how you spin it. The score was 27-13. Tennessee shot themselves in the foot at times. Georgia's a good football team. Georgia was the better football team that night. No doubt. I gave them credit all night in the post-game show, all day the next day and the day after. Georgia deserves credit for winning that football team, for that football game. However, Tennessee, you cannot shoot yourselves in the foot if you get a rematch. Tennessee forced a fumble early in that game. Starts on the Georgia 47. They picked up a first down, had an opportunity, but then that's where the crowd noise starts to come in. A false start kind of derailed that drive, and they had to settle for a field goal. And that was kind of the story of the night. Tennessee getting behind the change and settling for field goals. They had 9 penalties for 55 yards, but a lot of those false starts put you in a 1st and 15. Tennessee cannot do that. They cannot beat Georgia by shooting themselves in the foot. They cannot settle for field goals. You got to capitalize. You let Georgia turn the football over. You get it on their side of the field. You got to go score. You got to go put it in the end zone. You can't kick field goals and beat Georgia. So what happens if they're on a neutral site? What happens if that home field advantage goes away? Because that was a huge talking point going into the game and coming out of the game. The crowd noise did impact that football game. I think this football team kind of showed up shell-shocked. Now they know what they're getting into. And as Rick Neuheisel said, Josh Heupel is going to have a game plan ready to go for this Georgia football team. Now, does that mean if it comes out, I'm going to pick Tennessee to win? I don't know. We'll see how I feel that day. But I think Tennessee, I've said it all year long, Tennessee can compete with any team in the country. This offense can score on anybody in the country. That was their absolute worst performance of the year. Kudos to Georgia. They got good football players. Georgia played a pretty dang good football team, a pretty good football game. So what happens if Tennessee shows up and brings their A game? Can Georgia hang with Tennessee's A game? I think they can. They could be a fun football game. I'd like to see it at a neutral site. What say you? Hit the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. If Tennessee, first and foremost, are they going to get into the college football playoff? Second, what does a rematch with Georgia look like? I've said multiple times, I don't want it in the first round. Now, I want a piece of Ohio State in that first round. Then I want Georgia in a national championship rematch. You talk about storybook endings. That's the one I want. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. As always, before you get out of here, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Don't forget, we're going to be live tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time for Talkin' VAWLS Live. Come hang out. Should be a fun show as always. Also, go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin' VAWLS Network. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin' VAWLS. Any and all support, greatly appreciated. Thank you to all the new members of the channel. We're still on that membership drive. Need a couple hundred more memberships, a couple of hundred, 18,000 subscribers. If you're not a member of this channel, hit that join button down below for as little as 99 cents a month. You can support what we're doing around here, help keep the lights on, help bring more content your way. We would greatly appreciate it. But that's going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.